Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I've been a trader and technical analyst for the last 8 years. Today, I'm going to go over the market recap. We had an absolutely insane day in crypto, and this is for Tuesday, March 5th, 2024. Let me make my face a little smaller, and let's jump into the charts. We are still in a daily uptrend. We have bulls that were buying the 12 EMA toward the end of the day, and we got a lift from the semiconductors and technology. So we had a pretty decent close, but we were still down a little less than 1%. NQ was down more, down 1.65. The Russell kept it under 1%, and YM was right at 1%. So considering the end of day moves, the closes were not as bad as they could have been. Let's jump into the data we have tomorrow. So we have ADP non-farm payrolls. That did not go well last time. We have JOLTS. That did not go well last time. We had Fed Chair Powell. He is testifying in front of the Senate and the Congress. I forget which one. Tomorrow in the legislature. Tomorrow, or House of Representatives. Goodness, I'll get it straight. Tomorrow and Thursday. So we have a lot of Fed speak. We have the Beige Book. We have a lot going on tomorrow. So that could impact the market. So please keep that in mind. All right, what a busy day. Let's go back to ES. That 4-hour hammer candle, I think bulls will take that. We did not lose daily support. We didn't lose 50-60. On the next bounce, however, bears will be scouting a 4-hour lower high. Looking at NASDAQ, again, the lower wick is okay, and we've lost the 4-hour EMAs. On the next bounce, bears will be scouting a top fish against 1837775. Of course, an economic event can change this completely. If things were to be bad news, as in inflation is high, that could be bad news is good news because we may get a cut sooner. So things can change with data. It is a coin flip. All right, with Russell, we have the daily 12 EMA right below us, and we're perfectly fine on the daily. We have not destroyed any supports. The Dow is something altogether different, though. We lost our daily support. Now, Dow did that back here, and we still didn't tumble. ES didn't do it, NASDAQ didn't do it, but Dow did it, and we didn't tumble. So let's see if we can have a recovery here. But of course, I think that the Dow needs Apple to get its act together in order to reverse this downtrend that we got going on the Dow. We do have the daily 50 MA below, so we'll see if that can act as support. We broke our daily resistance at 14.15. I've been marking that up on my live streams. However, we did reject it, the daily 200 MA moving average overhead. On the 4-hour, we have enough room for a higher low now. So VIX got pretty spiffy today. Speaking of spiffy, the spiffiest of them all, Bitcoin broke the all-time high of $69,000 by $324. However, there was a quick defense by the bears. They let them get over by $300, and then boom. And then it was a big down move where we got to hourly oversold toward the end of the day, and we played it in TCG in our Bitcoin public channel. We were looking at the flush of 60,000, and Dan has talked about, I remember very vividly, May of 2020, COVID year. We had a big dump on crypto, and he came out and he's talking about it in that day's wrap up about how when the brokers start to jam up, that gives you a clue that we may be finding a bottom and max capitulation. And again, it happened today, and it gives me chills. I'm such a nerd, but I've learned from Dan to know when they start jamming up. And sure enough, we bought the dip below 60,000. Dan began to nibble. Began to nibble, or so we thought. And then we started getting some Coinbase errors. It was failed. All of our orders were failed. So we jumped to IBIT. IBIT is the ETF from I forget, is that the Fidelity one? I don't remember which one, but it's a Bitcoin ETF. So a lot of us switched to IBIT, and so we didn't have to deal with Coinbase outage issues and don't have to deal with their commission. So Dan put it eloquently in the general chat. We were playing the Bitcoin bounce, coin froze on us. We defaulted over to the ETF, and we saved lots of commissions, and it ended up being a great day. I scalped $1 off of this publicly. I posted my trades. So, and I stopped out of my last half I stopped out in profit when we lost 62,400 on Bitcoin, but that was a great back burner trade today. Coin had weakness today. They were able to get over yesterday's high, peak above and fail, and then they dipped down. They were unable to take out the low of yesterday, but this is a pretty weak showing by coin bulls today. On tomorrow, bears could be looking to top fish coin. Speaking of weak, Mara was a queen of the mountain trade for me today. I outlined it in pregame that Mara, I was looking for a 5-minute reverse back burner here, meaning 5-minute overbought to short, and it just came in perfectly. And then we had a huge dump on Mara. Mara still has the overhang of fundamental issues from last week that came out with earnings and offering, and it's just super weak. And I'm going to stay in this mindset on Mara until it stops working. Riot was not as weak as Mara, but it was pretty weak. It couldn't get over yesterday's close. That's the blue line. Then it came down pretty precipitously. Dollar kind of gained strength as the day went on. At one point, we had 30-minute inside bars here. I posted about these inside bars that broke bull, but we were just looking for a 30-minute lower high. So we'll see if dollar bulls can keep the pressure on and actually get a trend change tomorrow. Let's skip to gold. Gold had a wonderful day. No big issues here whatsoever. We closed with another 4-hour inside bar. This could be a 4-hour bull flag. And we still have this resistance here of 2171 over here, 2171.30. I want you to keep that in mind with what I'm about to show you. So with GDX, that is the miners. So I shorted GDX at the open, which is why I did not catch the Mara trade personally. It was a queen of the mountain trade. I outlined it for everyone, but I was focused in on GDX because we had a clear resistance. When you have a resistance that you can see from Mars, like 2914, we're running into the daily 200 MA. We're overbought on the 4-hour. We have a gap. We have a gap. We have a gap. We gapped up open. To me, those are juicy, juicy counter trend top fish. Yes, we have hourly uptrends. So I started scaling into dust right here at open. I scaled out some, it bounced up, and I told the room while I was live streaming I would not exit unless we closed over 29.20, which we didn't. And then I closed out some more at from 11.33 to 11.46. So that was a pretty good trade. I missed other trades by being in this one, but that's okay. You can't catch every wave and ride every wave that comes along. Can't touch all the water. All right, oil. Oil has API estimates in 14 minutes. Yep, 14 minutes, and has inventory tomorrow. They had a pretty big spike, but then came back down and gave it all back. So on the 4-hour, we are making no headway on oil. Oil bulls will be looking to inventory tomorrow to possibly get them out of this 4-hour downward spiral. Apple a day keeps the bulls away, continues. Very weak. We broke 170. We are oversold on the daily. Weekly's not oversold. 165.24 is our next support that we have. This is very, very weak. Apple is a short until the bulls prove otherwise. Onus of proof is on the bulls. Google had a great recovery, which is kind of surprising because they had YouTube outages today. We had lots of outages, and they had a great recovery. They couldn't get over yesterday's close, and they rejected, but that was a pretty good bounce there. We have Microsoft. Microsoft was weak, and I had someone asking me here at open, should they buy the dip? And I'm like, bulls are not proving it. We just can't step in and give bulls the benefit of the doubt when they haven't proven anything. And we got a daily downtrend on Microsoft today. Tesla had news of the Germany plant got shut down or something. There was arson, and they got their arse handed to them. So we have the EMAs overhead. It is super weak. Super weak. The 2-week bear flag confirmed today, and our last line of support is 175.01. Super weak. SMH did a peak above yesterday's low, and they couldn't reclaim the range, rejected, and then came down. It had a great close to the day here. This was a great close. AMD, wonderful close, new high of day. ARM pretty weak close considering. This bounce midday was pretty good. ARM gave us two great tightening ranges. I posted about this one right before the breakout, and I posted about this one right before the breakdown. So watch for those tightening ranges, especially on these volatile stocks. NVIDIA, amazing bounce, closing up near the high of day. And SMCI just tore things up at the end. So SMCI, we had other semis that were weak in here, and SMCI kept charging upwards. I was posting about it. Hey, it's got a 15-minute higher high. Hey, it's testing high of day. It just kept up the relative strength. So we'll see if this one can gap up tomorrow. And that gap up may mark exhaustion. It doesn't mean it'll hold the gap up. We will see. And then finally, we'll round this out with some MJ talk. We have MNMD. Still looking for a daily higher low. I would say this is still healthy consolidation. We haven't even touched the 12 EMA on the daily. MSOS, I noticed today that we are right on the daily 50 EMA. And you see the lower wick of bulls buying the dip at that simple daily moving average. We broke the support by 4 pennies, but we had the daily 50 EMA there and bulls bought the dip. So this will be key today to hold today's low, hold that daily 50 EMA in order to get a bounce higher. Then finally, TCNNF. This is kind of a wonky chart for me. We're still looking for that weekly lower high. And I would look for some type of tightening pattern like this. So tomorrow will be interesting. Do the crypto bulls have a full recovery overnight? Odds favor that they don't. It's more than likely that these meme coins like SHIB and Doge, or Pepe, whatever the other ones are, that they have topped out temporarily in the short term. So I would be looking for bounces in Bitcoin or the larger altcoins if you're playing back burner. Otherwise, I would probably be a little cautious of these meme coins. And I think that's it for the market recap. Thank you for being here.